Hello, I want to talk about loneliness today. Bit of a weird one. It's also might be hard to talk about for me because I'm still struggling to understand it myself. Hopefully talking about it will, in this video, will get me to understand my feelings a little more on this topic. So, before I begin, I want to talk about one major thing about loneliness that I want to get out of the way. I think it's a misconception that needs to be clarified. Loneliness and being alone, the state of being alone, I don't think are the same thing. Being alone, it's a physical component. It's the state of having no one there. Loneliness is the feeling of having no one there. Being alone and feeling lonely, completely different. I like being alone a lot of the times, but I do not like being lonely. So I think it's important to note this when given the context of what I'm about to talk about. I think it's important to know. I guess we should start with how alone I've been. So what has contributed to this fact that I am lonely? For my childhood, I pretty much got bullied a lot in school, in my charter school. When I was I went to a charter school, and from kindergarten to 7th grade, I got bullied a lot. That's like one contributing factor of why I felt alone in the school. So that's useful to know. And also, my family situation isn't great either. My siblings and I are 12 years and 6 years apart, respectively. My older sister is 12 years older than me, and my older brother's around 6 years. This is like a guesstimate, or like an estimate. It's around that much. So, as a result, I kinda didn't have siblings that could help me throughout my really early teenage years, you know, especially when I was a little bit younger. I didn't have anyone that was like on the same level as me, and so I didn't have anyone to turn to when a lot of this stuff was happening. You know, I didn't have anyone to relate to. A lot of the people that I related to weren't my siblings. It was my friends. I'm very thankful that I had and still do have a lot of good friends that support and back me up on a lot of different things. I, again, am a very alone person. I do stuff alone, but I also really enjoy company. It's always been something I enjoyed, but I don't really show it that well. I enjoy being with my friends a lot, and it's because I didn't have my siblings with me. That's not bad, you know? I had to have some kind of replacement, and I'm kind of glad I got one. It actually really did help me. I still do suffer from loneliness, and it's still pretty bad to this day. So I think that the main contributing factor to loneliness, at least for me, has to do with self-deprecation. This is gonna sound weird, but like when I go and hang out with friends and family members, I feel good about it. Up until recently. For some reason, recently, I have been feeling really guilty about hanging out with people. I don't know what it is. I think this has always been instilled with me, and I think it's just a insecurity toppled with I don't really like when people worry about me. When I hang out with people, I love it, but then immediately after I hang out with them, I kind of convince myself that I didn't deserve to be around people, that I deserve to be alone. And that guilt that sits with me is not fun. And I think it's really only gotten worse over the years, actually. Even in, like, I think it's still getting worse to this day. And it's definitely cause for mental health evaluation. Now, as far as why it happens, I think it's just because I've been alone for so long that I find it very difficult to have other people help me and to ask for help. I've thought about a ton of reasons why this could happen. Like, it could be a result of me being pressured as a man to, like, man up. But honestly, nobody's telling me to man up. Like, society, I guess, but I don't really care about them. So it's not really them. It's not really anybody in my immediate family or friends, because they're pretty supportive of me and my ordeals. So I don't know what it is. It's, I think, it's just me. And it's so hard to, like, not have that feeling take over. There have been so many times where I'll get done with, like, a meetup, and I will have the time of my life. I'll enjoy myself, and then I'll go back to, like, reflect on it, and the first thought that will pop up into my mind is that I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve to hang out with those people. You don't deserve to have these people with you. And it makes me lonely a lot. I have to literally force myself to interact with people sometimes. Otherwise, if it were up to me, I would want to just never interact with anybody. And it's an illogical thought, and I'm so aware that it's a logical thought. Like, you have no idea. I literally will have these thoughts in these episodes of just straight up, like, panic attack, I don't even know what to call them. Like, they're like loneliness attacks, where I'm like, I don't want to be near anyone and anything for this amount of time, and it'll go hard, bro. I'll like, for example, like, if it's with my online friends, I'll get, like, a panic attack and loneliness attack, and I'll be like, I don't want them to, like, rely upon me. I don't want them to feel like they're my friend, because I don't want them to worry about me. I'd rather not have a friend, and I'll do some, like, dumb shit, like delete, like, I guess in this case would be Discord, because we hang out on that a lot. I'll, like, delete Discord, and it's so insane saying this out loud, because it's illogical, and I know it's illogical, but for some reason my monkey brain thinks that that's the logical conclusion to come to. And man, I've, like, struggled with this so much as of recently as well, because even after I've done so much, like, research into self-help, I've done so much research into figuring out how my mind works, and all of the stuff that I learned is probably very similar to what a licensed professional is going to teach me. And I'm definitely going to get licensed help, don't worry. But it's just, it's going to take long. I'm going to see, hopefully this week I have some progress update on that, I guess. But I would be lying if I said that I didn't like being lonely, or the feeling of loneliness. For some reason, the feeling of loneliness gives me a lot of comfort. And it terrifies me. It really does. Because as illogical as it is, I've been alone for 22, 23 years of my life. And just the thought of having somebody else to rely upon is foreign to me, because I've done so much stuff alone. Because my siblings weren't there for me at my adolescence and teenagehood, or because I didn't have a father or mother figure. I had to learn everything, I had to learn everything by myself, and I have to learn everything by myself now, because I don't want anyone to rely, I'm basically, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think I'm anyone's number one priority when it comes to stuff. They have other things to do. They have relationships, significant others. They have family members that they're more closer to than me. I am nobody's number one, maybe number two, number three, but I'm nobody's number one at all. And that's okay, but it doesn't make me feel good. And it's horrible to come to the conclusion. Because it's not just me, it's millions of other people are in the same position. Because it's true. A lot of people aren't your number one priority. It takes too much effort to have somebody be your number one priority. Nobody deserves to not have anyone treat them as their number one, but also nobody deserves to have the pressure to like keep up with somebody so that they are the number one like target or whatever, like the number one person to keep up with. For me, let's say I have like a friend, right? And that friend has a sibling that they're really close to, and then like maybe someone they're dating, or like a significant, like a wife. Let's say wife or a husband. If I'm good friends with that person, even if I'm like best friends with that person, I would probably be number 2 or number 3 on that totem pole. And that's good, but because I'm number 2 or number 3, I'm not getting constant... Yeah, it sounds weird. It sounds kind of, honestly, it's kind of embarrassing, but like, I'm not getting constant attention from them as a result. And that has kind of neutered me, because I'm so insecure, bro. Like, if someone says something to me, like, there are like instances where I've literally had someone say to me like, don't talk to me ever again, and I still think about that stuff like to this day. Like, that kind of stuff actually messes with me in my head. To be honest with you, I don't know if I can even make anybody my number one priority either. Because I've been alone for so long, I think my number one priority is me. And I actually think that's good. Like, unironically, I think that's good. Like, not as like a, oh, you should prioritize yourself. Like, no, I've always thought that everybody should kind of have their number one priority be like themselves, because if you can't make yourself your number one priority and love yourself first, how can you make somebody else a number one as well? You have to have that experience of making yourself your number one focus before you could let on other people. And I'll be honest, I struggle with it I struggle with making myself number one so much. I'm such a giving person. I love giving advice. I love doing stuff for other people. I love giving stuff to other people. I love gifting. I love all of this stuff. Gifting knowledge, talking with people, talking with friends, talking with family members, doing stuff with friends and family members. I love doing all of this stuff. But as far as myself goes, I feel like myself has always came second to all of those things. And as a result, I don't know how to make myself the number one. I only know how to make other people it. And it's difficult. It really is. Conversely, it also sucks that, like, for an example, I don't have like someone to keep me as a number one, because I think a lot of people also get value in, I guess including me, in having other people put them as number one. Like, you know, there's a lot of lonely people out there, you know, people who want couples, people who want significant others. Perfectly fine, right? I think certain people need to have relationships because that's the only way they can function as human beings to help themselves. Ooh, this is gonna be weird to explain. It's like the only way to help themselves, like the only way someone can help themselves is if someone else tells them that they need to help themselves. Does that make sense? I think I'm that kind of person. I think I need somebody to tell me, you need to help yourself, or we can help, like we can fix it together. And this is coming from somebody that has always done stuff alone. And prefer to do stuff alone. It's a very difficult realization to come to. And it's one I've come to like this month looking into self-help and therapy. And it's a very important one because even now, I think I'm always going to struggle with not putting myself as a #1 priority because it's not in my nature to do so. I always love putting other people and other things first. And as a result, I've kind of neglected a lot of that self-help stuff. Whenever I feel bad about something, whenever I like do something that's mildly inconvenient, my first thought isn't if another person is to blame. My first thought will always be me to blame, regardless if the other person is guilty or not. Like if I'm doing something to other people and something bad happens and I feel guilty, I'm not going to feel guilty because they did, like if they did something, I'm not going to feel like they're at fault. I'm going to feel like I could have done something more. So because of that, I struggle a lot with just letting myself be the priority. And I don't know if I can make myself the priority. I've tried it for a month and it's worked out well. But if I'm honest, I still am incredibly insecure when it comes to other people and letting other people in. I don't know. Like, do I need a relationship? Do I need, like, a significant other to help me with this? Do other people need this? Do I need licensed professional help for this? Yes, I do. I am very well aware of it. Is it something that I can do on my own? I do a lot of stuff on my own, and I've never relied upon other people because I've always been at the forefront of, you know, love yourself first before you can love other people. Help yourself first before you can help other people. But man, it's so hard to do stuff on my own. Dude, what I would give for someone to just give me a hug and say everything is gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And like a kiss on the forehead or like anything like that, man. I haven't had that stuff in years. And when I say years, I mean like meaningful. Like not like a cordial. Like I can't even remember the last time I've had that. And here's the thing. I think this is the worst part. I don't think it's something that can just be given and it'll be fine. I think it has to be given to me once I have fully once I've fully helped myself and realized a lot of things that I'm probably going to realize throughout the next couple of months. Until I fix myself and my mental health, a hug and a kiss to the forehead and like a embracive hug will help, but it won't help as much as loving myself will. It won't help as much as embracing myself and liking myself for who I am. It's not going to do all that. Only I can do all that. So yeah, that's kind of the struggle I've been going through. It's been difficult. It really has. I struggle literally so much every single day. And I mean, I don't have virtually anybody to turn to. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. When I say I don't have anybody to turn to, I mean like anybody to turn to that would make me their #1 priority. Everybody has their own priorities. I need to make myself the #1 priority. I have to rely upon other people to make myself a priority. Someone has to tell me that I need to do this in order for me to be like, okay, okay, I'm gonna do this, you know? It's not something that comes to me naturally, so I have to have other people to do it. But I mean, again, I'm a lonely person. I'm also a person who does stuff alone. And it's not something that's just gonna come to me naturally. I think I need to let it ride I need to just let myself go, I think. And hopefully when I go to therapy, I can clarify a lot of this stuff. Because I feel like even now I'm kind of incoherently rambling about a lot of this stuff. I hope this makes sense, you know. I think one more thing I want to talk about. I want to clarify the self-deprecation stuff. I think I've talked about self-deprecation a lot with, like, people that I talk to about mental health a lot. My friends and, like, my family members. But I want to also share the extent of how deep my self-deprecation goes. Man, this one's gonna be a hard one, I think, to talk about. I'll give you guys an example. Let's say I go to an event with my friends, and at the end of the event, I'm so happy. I'm going home. I'm so happy. I arrive. I'm so happy. I get undressed. I'm so happy. I get undressed. I'm in the shower. Like a switch. Immediate dread. Immediate self-deprecation. Why did you go to the event? You don't deserve to have the people that you went to the event for. You deserve to be lonely. You deserve to be alone. What have you done to contribute to their life? What have you done that is any better than what anybody else can do in the same situation you're in? What makes you different? I think a lot of times I feel like other people in my situation with my benefits, I think other people could do a lot better than me, you know? It's not true that other people can do better than me because, you know, I am me for a reason. But it is true that I still feel this way. I don't know if it's logical to feel this way. I don't think it is. Why would it be logical to have these feelings? It's not just I don't deserve it, though. Sometimes there's justifications and reasonings for it. Like let's say I enjoy somebody's company a lot. Sometimes if I enjoy somebody's company too much, I'll avoid them and won't talk to them because I'm worried that I'm gonna do something or say something that's gonna offend them. It's gonna make them drive away from me. Or I think that somebody is so good that maybe they should interact with other people and not me. You know? Maybe I'm not the person they need to interact with. This can extend to, like, relationships also. I think a good example of this is... Ooh, this is a pretty good example. Okay, for, like... Ooh, this might be a little, like, TMI. But bear with me. I think most of... especially, like, women friends that I've met... There's definitely, like, 1 or 2 weeks of honeymoon phase where I'm like, oh my god, marriage? Oh my god, this person's the greatest person ever? Can I have a life with this person? Here is where things get awful, because this is where both the loneliness and self-deprecation and the things that I just talked about come into play. Now, my self-deprecation in that instance, if I like somebody, right, which I've liked plenty of women, definitely plenty. There's not a shortage. I thought about it, actually, the other day. Like, I've definitely liked a lot of women, right? If I like somebody nowadays, right, my thought process is this person probably is somebody that I would enjoy their company, maybe could help me, but I enjoy their company and like them so much and am attracted to them so much that I think they would be better off finding somebody else. I don't think I am ready to commit to whatever relationship, whether it be romantic or friendship, will come to. This happens with women a lot for me because it's usually romantic at first. And then this will be combined with the guilt trip. Dude, the guilt trip for me is so bad. What I'll do is I'll say that and I'll be like, they're better off without me. But then I'll combo it with, like, this is all the bad stuff about you that would probably make this woman despise you. And I'll be like, you're ugly. You have, like, you smell bad, which isn't true. I smell fucking fantastic. But, you know, stuff like you smell bad, you don't shave very well, I talk too much. Or, you know, just like a bunch of general stuff that might be bonuses for some people. For, like, significant others, or, like, women or whatever. This happens with guy friends too. Like, guy friends or, like, just dudes that I meet. Sometimes I meet someone and I'm like, oh my god, they're so cool. And still, even with them, I'll be like, man, this dude is so cool. I would love to help him and, like, give him the help that he needs if he ever asks for it. But oftentimes, I think I stray away and I try to lead him towards options that aren't me. Because I'm afraid that, especially, I think for me now, I'm afraid if I ever let anybody in, truly, and if, like dating, I guess, dating-wise, or relationship-wise, and they abandon me, I don't think I can recover from it, if I'm real. It's real bad. I think the reason that I'm not in relationships, like, nowadays, especially, are because the main reason is, I think if I get into a relationship now and I commit and it doesn't work out, I might not be in a good spot. I might not be in a good spot. Definitely not going to be in a good spot. And considering the last video where I had suicidal thoughts, who knows where that'll lead. Again, I'm getting better. I think part of it is just talking about it. You know, don't think that I'm doing terrible even now. Just talking about this stuff is really helping me. I made some progress today as well. At work, I didn't listen to anything but my thoughts, and they went into very, very dark places. But the fact that I exhausted myself and then just logically thought through it all, and while I definitely didn't come to the best conclusion, I still worked through my emotions in an effective way, better than I did any other day. So even though today I felt probably emotionally exhausted and the most distressed I've ever been, I think I made a lot of progress today in a lot of the stuff that I did. And I'm very, very proud of myself. Yeah. It's been very hard. I'm trying to get myself to cry. I don't know if it sounds like it. I think another thing is I don't cry a lot, but that's another video. Maybe I'll cry. I kind of want to cry during the I don't cry a lot video. Or I don't know. It'll be something. I hope that is a good conversation. I hope I did well in journal-wise. I hope this helped some other people out as well. Whoever watches this fully through. It's a pretty intense... It's going to be pretty intense for a good majority of these videos, honestly. But hopefully you enjoyed watching, or you didn't enjoy watching. Wow, that's really wonderful. Listen, I'm doing absolutely terribly, and that's okay. I just need to keep pushing through and get the help that I need as soon as possible. Get professional help. And hopefully that'll lead me to great things. I have no idea if I have a mental illness. I could have a mental illness and just be really good at hiding it in plain sight. That's something I'm super scared about. I think I'm very good at, like, hiding stuff in plain sight, like, in my emotions. I don't actually know if anyone's caught on with that, actually. It's pretty... I think I've gotten, like, insanely good at it. To a point. Like, it's a skill. But, yeah, whatever. I digress. Oh yeah, that'll be it for this journal. I just want to talk a little bit about it. That's all.